Here's just a quick tip I'd like to share with you. If you find yourself having to replace a wiring harness in your car, it doesn't matter what kind of car it is. I recently replaced the wiring harness, had to do a major repair on a W113 280SL, and this came in real handy because let me tell you, if you just start pulling the old wiring harness out, thinking you're going to remember where all those plugs go, you might want to think again. So I use a little technique. It requires progressively destroying the old wiring harness as you remove it. But I think you'll find in the next scene there's a reason behind this, and it can be very helpful, particularly when you have multiple plugs located in an area that's hard to get to or they look all the same. You can see I've started to install the new harness, but if you look closely, some of the old harness is still there. Look at that. And this is for the purpose of giving me reference to where all these plugs go. Now you can see what I've done is I pulled the old harness out. I didn't unplug all the connectors or unhook all the ground wires. I just cut them off close to where they go. So as I feed the new harness in here, see, I'm looking at all these fittings right here wondering, okay, where do all these go? So if you've just pulled the entire harness out and then you come back and start trying to figure this out, okay, good luck. All right, I've been there, I know what I'm talking about. Now you can see here that there's a couple that are pretty obvious, but sometimes you get into areas it's really hard to get to, and a number of the plugs look the same. Let me show you this one right down here. This is the group of wiring plugs that have to go along the front of the engine, right below the valve cover here. And there's a couple of these plugs that are similar. They're different lengths, of course, but when you're working in a very limited space, like right down in here, it can be kind of difficult to figure out which plug goes where, and you won't get confused if this doesn't go somewhere else in the engine. So I'm going to just leave this wiring harness cut off and leave it plugged in until I remove a couple of brackets and I can get down in there and install these new plugs. It's pretty obvious it's going to be a lot easier when you can compare plug to plug and wire length to wire length. So I hope you find this tip helpful, particularly next time you go to replace a wiring harness in a car.